This is Olugbemisola Olave coming to you from Dreams of the Heart TV. Today I will be talking about turning your mistakes into stepping stones. When you hear the word mistake, that word just means doing the wrong thing. And in life, a lot of people tend to associate mistakes with no good result coming out of it. So when you hear somebody made a mistake, it means something bad resulted from it. But I've discovered of recent that actually not all mistakes result in bad things. Your mistakes can also result in a lot of good things can come out of you doing mistakes. That's what I've discovered. I know what a mistake could be. It could range from anything. It could range from somebody saying, "Oh, I had an unwanted pregnancy," that maybe came about by associating with the wrong set of people, or it could be maybe on a job you went into a wrong career, and after a couple of years you just feel unfulfilled and you feel like, oh, I went into it by mistake, I don't like this, and then you feel like, why I've wasted all these years? Not necessarily. There are lessons that you can learn from it, and you can use them as stepping stones. Irregardless of what it might be, there are always lessons that you can learn from it. I was reading online. There's my son was showing me. We were talking about doing the video, and he was saying, "Oh, mommy, there's we were talking about 10 inventions that changed the world, but they were made by mistakes." So there were 10 inventions that nowadays they're like a big invention. They've changed the world, but they came about by being a mistake. One of them is the first practical implantable pacemaker. It came about by mistake. I'll just go run them now. The microwave oven was discovered by mistake in 1945. Penicillin, which is it's used a lot in pharmacies. A lot of people use it. It was discovered by mistake. An inkjet printer, I actually was reading that. It said when a Canon engineer rested his hot iron on his pen by accident, ink was ejected from the pen's point a few moments later. This principle led to the creation of the inkjet printer. So it wasn't planned, but it came about as a mistake. X-ray images came about by mistake in 1895. A German physics professor stumbled on X-rays while experimenting with Leonard and Crookes tubes and began studying them. So a lot of things came about with mistakes. Artificial sweeteners, which we use today, were created in 1879 by mistake. Post-it notes, which you and I use, the guy was trying to create a weak adhesive that would peel off when removed from any surface. He came up with a post-it note. Potato chips, that's a good one. That one was really interesting. He said in 1853, in a New York restaurant where a customer complained that the fried potatoes were too soggy and thick and repeatedly sent them back to the waiter, the chef, George Crumb, got so fed up that he took the request for a thinner potato quite literally. He cut the potatoes into thin slices, fried them, and covered them in salt, and voila, the most favorite snack in the world was born. So next time you are angry, you might possibly change the world. Maybe you might have something that you think, oh, this is a mistake. It might be an idea that might change the world. That's how potato chips came about. Coca-Cola is another mistake that the world has embraced so much now. Some people can't do without Coca-Cola, but it came about as a mistake. While serving as Lieutenant Colonel, John Pemberton, who was a pharmacist, was wounded. He got addicted to the morphine used to ease the pain. He began experimenting with Coca-Cola wines for opium-free alternatives, eventually creating his own version of Vin Mariani, containing cola nuts and Damiana, which he called Pemberton's French wine cola. It goes on and on. And through trial and error, he said he eventually included blending the base syrup with carbonated water by accident. He was a pharmacist trying to find a drug that would be easier, that would be opium free. He came up with Coca-Cola, and then he decided to sell it as a fountain drink rather than a medicine. Now people love Coca-Cola so much. Chocolate chip cookies, there's a story behind that. It came up as a mistake. So mistakes are not always wrong. So you can see mistakes can be stepping stones. Mistakes can advance you. Mistakes, you can make a mistake and then you can use it as a stepping stone. What lessons can you learn? These inventions came about as mistakes and now they've changed the world all over. Can you imagine having a life without a microwave? It came about as a mistake. So in your life today, look at it and some things that you might see. Don't think that your mistakes, your mistakes define who you are, and don't think that those mistakes are useless. Look at them and think, oh, what can I pick out of this? Maybe this mistake can it can be a stepping stone for me. I see mistakes as similar to taking a wrong exit while traveling on the highway. A lot of time it seems you're going on a longer route. That's all it is. When you're going on a route on the highway, maybe you miss you're meant to go on exit 85 and then you miss it. You end up going on exit 92. What happens? Your journey, you have to go all the way back, but then your journey is just longer. It doesn't mean you're not going to get to your destination. So when you make a mistake, look at it this way. Oh, I might have made a mistake, but you know what? I might take a longer route, but I'm still going to come back to my destination. God has a purpose for you. Even when you make mistakes, He can always bring something good out of those mistakes. So don't look at them that, oh, this mistake is the end of the world. It's useless for me. Maybe the mistake that you made, the lessons that you learned from it is going to encourage somebody else so that they don't go through what you went through. That mistake that you made, you might be able to salvage so much from it that it changes your life around. Whatever it might be, look into your life today. And so this week, my short of encouragement to you is turn your mistakes into a stepping stone. Whatever mistakes you might have made in the past, look at lessons that you can learn from them that can help you even in your current phase of life. Look at things that you can pick from it and say, oh, I made a mistake here, but you know what? I might have done that by mistake, but maybe I can use it to take me higher. I can use it as a leverage to get to my next level. So that's my short of encouragement to you today. Don't be put down by whatever mistakes you have made, because there's always something that you can salvage from it. If this video has been a blessing to you, share it with somebody today. Enjoy it, like it, subscribe, and have a great week. Remember, your mistakes can always be a stepping stone. See you next week. Bye.